What's up, guys? This is Cory and welcome to CNA Films and Animation. Well, happy Valentine's Day to everyone, and as a special treat, I've decided that I'm going to give you guys my top 10 favorite romantic comedies. So after much consideration and going through all different types of romantic comedies, I've come up with my top 10 list, and keep in mind that this is just my own opinion. This is, completely opinion based, and some of your movies may be on here, some of them probably aren't. It's either because I haven't seen them or I just find these films just a little bit better. So with that, let's get into the list. My number 10 choice is The Wedding Singer. This was the 1998 film that was directed by Frank Cory, whose other films include The Waterboy, Here Comes the Boom. What I really like about this film, it stars Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, and what I really like about this is it combines a bunch of 80s music. I really like these characters, they really stuck with me, and they're very memorable. My number 9 choice is As Good as It Gets. This film was nominated for several awards back in 1997, including Best Picture, and I really like this film. It stars Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt, Greg Kinnear, and this film is just really a good film. The reason why it's a little lower on the list is just because I really do love this movie, and if it was a different list, I'd probably have it much higher, but I'm going to have to put it at my number 9. My number 8 is Harold and Maude, a 1970s cult classic, I guess, and it's it's an odd love story between a younger man who's kind of an upper class individual, and he falls in love with an older woman who's a little on the eccentric side, and he kind of finds himself in their relationship. It's a very sweet, it's kind of a dark comedy, and it's a very good film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you check it out. My number 7 is 16 Candles. This was John Hughes' first directorial film, and it's a fantastic romantic comedy. It has so many famous faces in it. Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall. They're fantastic in their performances. John Cusack and Joan Cusack have very funny roles in this film. It has some very catchy one-liners, and it's a very enjoyable film. If you haven't seen it, again, I recommend it. Anything by John Hughes, I absolutely love. My number 6 pick is Love Actually. This is kind of a Christmas movie, but then again, it's also kind of a romantic film. This looks at a bunch of different relationships through different stages in love. Going from early puppy love with a small child up to divorce and stuff. I mean, it shows the the lovey stuff, and it shows the bitter stuff that comes with love. And it's a very well done film. It's a very enjoyable film. A couple of friends of mine showed it to me, and I absolutely loved watching it. They watch it every Christmas, and honestly, I think I might start that tradition myself. My number 5 is The Graduate, Mike Nichols' classic from 1967. This film was nominated for Best Picture, and what I love about this film is that, it's got a fantastic soundtrack from Simon and Garfunkel. It's a very enjoyable story, so many great lines and so many great performances, especially from Dustin Hoffman. Again, if you haven't seen this film, if you're a movie lover fan, you have to see this film. My number 4 favorite romantic comedy is Silver Linings Playbook. This came out last year, and it was nominated for Best Picture, and I absolutely love this movie. Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro, Jackie Weaver, everyone in this film just gave such fantastic performances. You're rooting for Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence's romance. You get invested in their characters, and you just you go with the entire story, and it's a fantastic story that is told. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend that you do. My number 3 is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Now, this one's a little bit of an odd one, but then again, I absolutely love this film. I think it's one of the funniest films to come out in the last 10 years. Jason Segel wrote the script, and it's just such a great film. Very funny. The romance between Jason Segel and Mila Kunis is very believable and very fun. And, you know, it's just an all-around good film. My number 2 is Chasing Amy. You know, this was back in his early days. This was his 3rd film. It starred Ben Affleck and Joey Lauren Adams, and it's just a truly fantastic love story. The story basically is that Ben Affleck falls in love with Joey Lauren Adams, and it turns out that she's a lesbian. And, you know, they really can't, you know, she doesn't really have feelings for him, but he has feelings for her. And, you know, she starts to explore her love interest for him, and it's truly just a great film. I really love it, and it's definitely one of my favorite romantic comedies. And my number 1 all-time favorite romantic comedy is There's Something About Mary. This was the 3rd film from Peter and Bobby Farrelly, and this was back in their, this was like their peak. You know, the best film they've ever made, in my opinion. It's the funniest, it's the one film that really launched a lot of people's careers. It's very memorable, and it's just an all-around great film. It had so many great comedic actors in it. I mean, Jeffrey Tambor's in it, Lynn Shay. Chris Elliott is really funny in this film, and it's definitely one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and it's one that I find myself watching quite often. So, yeah, that's my list. What's your favorite romantic comedies? Are there any films that I left out? You know, or what are some ones that you would put in your top 10? Comment below and let me know. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. I'm Cory, and I'll see you guys in the next one.